Welcome to 3D Learning. This is video 5, and today we're going to look at the discussion and the formula for how to speak in conversation and discussion. There are about 14 questions, and each level will be different. Let's look at it together. The 3 levels of discussion. The first is really kind of just general. Very simple. You don't have to think hard. The second is personal. And the third is abstract or kind of needing a little bit more critical thinking. At each level, you should try to speak with this formula. This formula will give you confidence, and if you learn to do that, it will give you all the information. It will generate your ideas completely, and since most information is missed, it will fill in the blanks, and you don't have to worry about is it perfect grammar or not, because you will have communicated your whole idea, which is usually the problem. I encourage students to follow this formula. 1 plus 3 is 4. Now you already know that because you're smart. And then plus 2 plus 1. So what do I mean? 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1? 1 is a 7-word answer or a statement. Don't just ask questions, because too many questions, people get confused as to what information do you really want. If you give information, people want to give you back information. So you start with one statement or 1 7-word answer if somebody asks you a question. So somebody says, what are you doing on your summer vacation? Fishing. Well, that doesn't say a lot. I'm going to go fishing on the west coast. Okay, now you have more than 7. Now you have good information. Even if you confuse the grammar a little bit, all the ideas are there. The west coast is there, fishing is there. Okay, you've answered a couple questions. So 7-word answer is very important. But then you add 3 information sentences, because the listener is going to ask you a lot of questions if you stay there. And remember, you want to keep the direction, or you want to change the direction of your conversation. I and my family go to the West Coast every summer to fish off the beach. 1. My father usually doesn't come until later because he has to work at his company and doesn't get a lot of time off. We don't keep most of our fish because they're too small, and it's just for the fun. Okay? So now we have 3. 1 plus 3. Now you give lots of information. Now you want to change your information to go where you want to go. What is the next question? Maybe you want to know information about the other person and what they do on vacation. 2 information. We have been doing this for 5 years now. 1. Sometimes more of our family comes, like aunts, uncles, and grandpa and grandma. 2. What do you like to do on vacation? So now you give more information about the first question, but you just added more, and now you're going to keep going down that same direction. You haven't changed your direction. Your information says We want to keep going, and that's how you keep things going. And if try it, we're going to try it in these 3 levels. Add 2 more sentences to build ideas for the next question, and we have lots of questions. So you want to think about the next question and what information can you give before you ask that question. Okay, so you continue this pattern until each level is complete. Students take note of the idea. So take notes. Somebody's talking to you, or you're listening as it goes around. Don't just, okay? Take notes about what each person has for an answer. That's important because these questions are related somewhat to your topic, not directly all the time, but somewhat. And so you maybe want to use that answer later when you are having your debate or when you are having a disagreement. And we like disagreements. So don't let students stop before the formula. You can do this. You can write your answers already, and you can be prepared for any question when it's your turn. And then on the side, you can have notes, and you don't have to get stressed about your answer, and you can focus on what the other person is talking about. Encourage disagreements with a response. Try to disagree. It's nice to agree. Wow, I love it. Yeah. Try to disagree. Debate is about disagreeing. Discussion is about disagreeing. So we need to practice being disagreeable a little bit. And not only being disagreeable as I disagree with you. Everybody says that. But rather, give some support before your disagreement. That's why you have 3 information or 2 information. Give some support for your disagreement. That's number 1. Write long answers. Okay? Long answers is like if you have 4-sentence answer, that's doing pretty good. Use your vocabulary. The vocabulary that is in the story or vocabulary that you learned from somewhere else. So the first level is very general. Is this the only place this has happened? And you would say, yes. But you want to add more. You want to use the formula. Yes is not 7 words. It's yes, this is the only place. No, this is not the only place this has happened. Use the full sentence. Okay? No, this is not the only place this has happened. It's 10. And you have used 7. Add 3. I think this has happened, or I read that this has also happened. Okay? This happened in my country. And continue. 3 support for your 1 answer. Don't just say 1 word. Add to your information. And then your second question is, would you visit this historical place? Again, it's a yes-no answer, but you want to have 7 words. Now let's see how this works. I am the first person. So I ask the question, is this the only place this has happened? I ask number 2 person in my team or in my class. Number 2 will answer yes or no plus 6 words. Yes plus 6 words. No plus 6 words or more. Okay? 3 information plus 2 information about the second one. So you give your opinion. I wouldn't like to visit this historical place because it's too far away. I think visiting historical places where you can pan for gold might be nice, but maybe it's too boring. 2. Now you ask the question, would you like to visit this historical place? So you give your reasons why, yes or no, you would not like this place, and then you ask, and you will get a better answer. So you do this with every question. First person starts, second person has that 6-sentence, one question, and question 2 is already here. So you already know what the question is. Don't change the questions, but have those 6 sentences in the middle. You write them down, each one. Okay? Would you or your parents join a gold rush? Why or why not? Do you think you would be successful? Yes or no, plus 6, plus 3, plus 2, plus 1. Level 2. What is the strangest thing you have ever done? So anytime you get yes or no answers here, but you want to have yes plus 6, no plus 6 or more. Okay? Have you ever had a broken dream? These are personal. So you want to give a personal idea. Ask personal information from other students. Round and round you go. Level 3, what can we learn from this story? Is this phenomenon a problem? Becoming a problem? What could have stopped this from happening? Was this a culture problem or just a bad business economics? What social problems today can we see mirrored in this story? How can we stop this madness from happening in our society today? You write all the answers, 6 sentences, right? 6 because you have the question is already here. 6 sentences. Yes plus 6 words plus. No plus 6 words plus. Write it down, and when you come back to class, you will be ready for any question, and then you can focus on what is the other person saying. What arguments are they giving? And you take notes. Taking notes is crucial. Take notes. You may not have time to discuss a lot, but you will have notes that you can come back to and say, you said this, right? You said this. And now you have, I think, no. You already have information. And that information from your notes is very important. You don't want to say, I think, in a debate. You want to say, I heard, I read, okay? You said. Those kinds of speaking. We want to think about how we speak, not only what we write. We are speaking. And so now is the time to use that formula to answer all the questions. When you come to class, you are ready for any question. So every team member should have that level of writing ready from your notebook. It's not so hard. If you prepare ahead, class will be fun. This week, you have answered a lot of questions. About 14. And you've added more information to communicate your whole idea. You have expanded ideas to reflect your opinions. Now, continue to expand your ideas to fit your arguments for debate. We start with a lot of information. A lot of information is needed so that we can bring it closer to a fine point. If you don't have a lot of information, then your point never gets really sharp. And your debate, your arguments become shallow and weak. So we want to build that information so that you can build your argument and be more precise in what you want to argue in a debate. Remember, the debate is about 5 people, your team, whatever it is, 4 or 5 people, each having their own point to argue, but connected to the whole main topic that you decided to argue. That's the idea. And so we have to continue thinking that way. Come to video 6, and we'll continue working on our argument and statements.